Welcome. This is Recidiva. I'm sharing a recording of a casual Skyrim playthrough using a mod list I built. My profound thanks to all the mod creators who have made this game a crowdsourced treasure. I hope you enjoy.
Let's be careful. Someone could be watching us.
And my trend of not being able to hit ice wraiths continues. Okay, so you see the other unfortunate dead body reaching for keys. You can hear my auto mover picking them up. You can see them disappearing, yeah. There's Alexi's key. Gives you a chance once per day to open non-essential locks. The chance is equal to half your archaeology skill. So it's really just a free, low-level lockpick ability, which it's not terribly useful at low levels because you want to use your lockpick skill to get it to raise, and then once you've raised it, you don't need it. But hey, free occasional lockpick, and then sometimes it'll give you the chance to say, hey, you want to use Alexi's key? And I say yes, and it goes, well, you can't. I don't think it does the check on your archaeology skill before it asks you if you want to use it. So sometimes it's just a menu that's in your way. Go lay down. Oh, huh. Oh, right. Okay, these Alvaro's tools, Dino's bottomless pack, Schneider's sextant are given to you at the beginning if you are the guildmaster or not. Some of them are just outside, so I'm used to already having them, but I don't this time because I didn't choose the guildmaster origin. Alvaro's tools can be used for the inventory to prospect fragments to try and find more keystones. It exchanges 2 fragments for a keystone if successful, or costs 1 fragment if it fails. Rate of success is based on your archaeology skill level. You can actually buy keystones and fragments from the merchant. Trying to think of her name. I can't think of it right now, but she will sell them. So if it's really an issue, you can buy them.
Dragonborn.
Ooh, my magic resistance is good there. Even against the 67. That's great. Defeat the necromancer, search the necromancer. Alright, that's another quest. Necromancer's Journal. Key to Wolf Cage. Totem Bone. And a set of Ebony Mage Unarmored. Take the totem to the caged wolf. So we just stumbled on this one. I was just coming for this. Oh, hey. Hey, little buddy.
You chose to fuck around, Younger. We'll find out.
Do you move as a flower seller, or do you just like picking?
Oh, is this the Bone Wolf pet?
We see.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the Bone Wolf pet. Okay. Come with me. Come on. Wait for me at home. Golden Hills Plantation. Yeah, I'm sure they're not going to be freaked out when you show up. Oh well. Stranger things have happened. Dino's bottomless pack is like on the side of a mountain again.
Turd ass. Sounds like turd arse, doesn't it? Yeah, it's on the ledge. Boy, I'm lucky I was able to land right there and dismount. Dino's bottomless pack, not only providing an excellent 200-point bonus to carry weight, the bag will also conjure random items periodically within its depths. Sometimes useful, sometimes junk, but you know what they say about one man's junk. So, from what I can tell, you need to physically... You can't open the bag unless I'm able to now. I doubt it, though. You have to physically drop the bag on the ground and then try to open it from there. It's really weird. Yeah, all it does is let you equip it from your inventory. It's just, it's silly. They didn't even make it a container that you can open, so, I don't do anything with Tino's pack. I have no use for it. Although in a vanilla game, of course, it's very helpful to get 200 extra carry points, so. Okay, the rest of this stuff is in Solstheim, so I'm gonna try taking Kaidan with me because we're not going up into Telmithrin. Pretty. Check. Okay, he'll follow me. That's good. So let's see. Unlock East Empire Company Strongbox Expert. Oh, I didn't pick the Alexis key option. Well, that was so. Who is still throwing things at me? Stop it. No, seriously, stop it. This is kind of cool. If you look at it, it's like an upside down ship with dwarven engines that are still, you know, using a pipe and a gear. The door's upside down, so when you're inside, it's disorienting. You are on the ceiling of the ship. See if Alexi's key will unlock it for me. It did. So I can, with my archaeology skill, let's see what my archaeology skill is. Oh wow, my archaeology level is 73. Yeah, that's pretty good. So, yeah, that's pretty good. I don't have any more perk points, but that's cool. Let's see, so yeah, the, stuff is down here. I want to see if I can make a deck yet. Like, what, 150 hours in and still no deck? Maybe today is my lucky day. So look at all the cards I have. Yes, build my decks. And let me guess. Nothing. Okay, still no deck. Forgotten Vessel Bowels. So there, yeah, and again, it's disorienting. Alright, here is the beacon. This beacon can be used from your inventory to summon the Devavesa airship to your closest map location. This requires installation of a resonator on the airship. Note, due to engine limitations, using the beacon to draw the airship to a new world space will require you to save and then reload that save game before the airship marker will be usable again. I don't use the Devavesa. Okay. And here's a little bit of a puzzle. You know, you go to loot and you can't. So, the solution is a flame spell. Watch the ice melt. I think that's kind of cool. Just watch the ice melt down. Once you've melted it, so those are both for the Devavesa, and these are, you know, airship components for the airship. It's just that the airship crashed in Solstheim. So I think that's creative. Alright, let's check all the tools. Synamia's journal is down this way. Sometimes it'll be hard to find your way up from the coast, so... Oh, fuck off, workers! Come on, man! Nobody wants to start shit. Such a pain to get up there. Okay. There's the back cave, I don't care. here, I have to care. These guys are hard to see because they're full colored. They appear to be fighting each other. Which is weird. Is there anything behind me to fight? No. I don't like your chances, little buddy. Yeah, be careful with these guys. They can actually, as a tribe, kick your ass. Come over here early, so watch it. And, yep, I have seen Reichling sex with my defeat mod, so take it seriously. Nobody wants that. Okay, my illusion is getting up there, and I'm gonna probably pick alteration next. I keep forgetting to run around and practice, but I should. I'll take my wow, that was a lucky shot. I figured it would get caught up in there, but it didn't.
I'll make sure you come on, then. Ugly little bastards.
Okay, so now I'm going to use Journal Vault, Volume 2, 13th of Rain's Hand. In honor of the Iliac Bay's Day of the Dead, I made a visit into Valthun with a few others to pay our respects to the dead. The tomb was in rather bad disrepair, and I found a few chambers that were completely collapsed. I'd like to, at some point, come back and dig out these chambers, so that the relatives of the dead might be able to more easily visit their ancestors. Okay.
It's a good thing time to do what we do best, Dragonborn!
Yeah, so Celea likes boons that, are given to her by Oriel. And honestly, I haven't heard of a single assholey thing that Oriel has ever done. Maybe we'll find it in a book someday. But Oriel seems to be fairly decent. And Oriel... Okay, let's go do a round of Colborn Barrow. Because one of the items is in there. Schneider's... Oh, that's right. I have to pickpocket it from... Well, right now I can... My pickpocket skill is probably high enough. And this section is... what made me stop using Ordinator, because, yeah, I know there is actually a bunch of good stuff in Ordinator, and I was kind of, you know, perhaps short-sighted in taking it out. But I had the tripwire thing, which sounds cool, and I kept trying to pickpocket from Raylus, where he's exactly where he is right now, and it kept setting a tripwire and exploding and making the entire camp do me harm.
Oh, I was hoping I wouldn't see you quite so soon.
It looks like at least some of the miners survived this time.
Yes, well, the mercenaries did their jobs. Worth every septim. Of course, they might disagree. The dead ones, anyway. Gods, what a disaster. I feel like we've done this before, but that just means we're getting good at it. You go make the Draugr dead again, and I'll keep the rest of these Enwas from running off.
So yeah, it's very simple in Ordinator to just go, don't do the tripwire thing, but
Well-
okay, so I want to pickpocket the item from him rather than kill him, which I'm probably going to do anyway. Well, but I will kill him for Boethia. So you either have to kill him or pickpocket him to get it. He also has a weapon. Schneider's Sextant can be used from your inventory to locate the nearest relic of interest. This requires 1 research point for each relic located, and are gained from reading books and using the research station in the museum area. Okay, so I successfully pickpocketed with no tripwire. Yeah, you know, as I said, I could...
wish that damn mountain would stop spewing fucking ash.
I know, but it's so pretty. It is pretty. I mean, I'm sorry, but it is. So yeah, there are also some things that I think sometimes it's just inventory issues, as I had said before. Ordinator creates a lot of like junk items in the world that are only usable for, you know, like body parts for altars, and it just adds an inventory load. Sometimes the game crashes because it doesn't recognize the items terribly well. So, Ordinator did go bye-bye.
Sodom Creek fuckers.
I think the only major mod remaining that I'm curious about that I haven't really done anything with would be like Vigilant, if you're going to do a complete difficulty overhaul to see how that works. But the idea of patching everything to Vigilant just
Wow.
it hurts my
Well,
brain.
that was impressive with a bow.
Okay, and now you can hear this dragon wall, but it isn't usable yet. I mean, I suppose I could get close, but I don't think it will activate until later. Maybe. But I believe I've got one more stage before it's usable. Okay. That wasn't right.
So, dog, watch out for traps. I do not want to be dragging
Okay.
out your remains.
What? Okay. I jump off. Okay. Yeah. So we need to clear this of Draugr. I may not be able to get, whatever I came in here for right now, but we might be able to get back to it later. Okay. Unearthed. Yeah, so we've already been in this section, and looted it, and we're gonna go back in, kill the Draugr in this section. Oh, see, my conjuration is still only 49. It takes a long time to raise up if you're not summoning pets. But that's okay, I'm in no major rush. Yeah, I don't think we were supposed to be able to get into this section last time. It is a bit buggy. So now we're going in through backward. Kinda. And now I've lost my Draugr pointers. Where are the Draugr? Alright, I had indicators, but now I don't. Alright. There's still a Draugr in here somewhere I'm supposed to kill.
You're a phantom to be feared.
And I don't know where it is. Yeah, it's just sending me out. I don't know where I missed a Draugr. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Okay, as I mentioned, Oberon Barrow is very buggy. To make sure there really isn't one at the entrance. And then I'll just wander about unstealth to see if it finds me. Did have a quest marker, and then it didn't. There it is. Hey, you. See if there any more where that one came from.
You're a fine shot with that ball.
There's also like weird spiders over here now. Yeah, okay. Ooh, you got a lot of hit points. That's okay. Yeah, there are like spiders over here. There's a new door here that has a bunch of those exploding spiders. Like spiders weren't bad enough, now we have to make them explode. Cool looking up. Okay. Wander around some more, out of stealth, see if anything. I don't want to open or close any more doors right now. Things are open now and I'll forget. Let's see if a Draugr comes after me. You gonna wake up? You don't look like you're gonna wake up. Okay. Yeah, see, it didn't even activate. Come on, Kaidan. Alright. It's okay, like, Kaidan's pathing is just terrible. But as long as he's trying to follow me, he's not actually bugged. Yeah, we good? Yeah, we're good.
If they couldn't hold off the Draugr, who can?
Well,
All the Draugr are dead.
good. I'm glad I can count on you, at least. I think we're almost to the bottom of the barrel, but it's going to be everything I can do to find more miners. We've developed quite the reputation. But for enough gold, I can do it. Just barely.
How much?
5,000.
You want 5,000 septums?
I know you could almost buy a house for that much, but like I said,
You
we've
can
got
buy a house for
quite
that
the
much.
reputation out here. And coin is the only counterweight for a bad reputation. Have you got the money?
As a matter of fact, I do.
Good, good. This time I'll spring for some more experienced muscle. That should do the trick.
Sure is. Okay. We good, Kaidan?
It's
Good.
Rallis's problem now.
Okay, so I can't get that, I can't do unearthed to finish. Tools of the trade. But I can try to do some research on Delrune's compass. Okay. It is in Blackreach, so that is an underground, that is an underground marker somewhere in Blackreach. So, alright, I'm going to head to, I'm going to regularly travel from here. I'm not sure I remember where the entrance to Blackreach is. If I actually got these last two tools, it would be the first time I finished the quest and got everything. And there are a couple of additions to it, too. Hey, Kaidan, you good? You look good.
Dr. Captain Garland, if you're looking to
Alright, Kaidan took his first trip to Solstheim. So as long as it's targeted and I know what I'm doing and not doing, it'll be fine. Okay. Let's go to Jerem and spend the night. And then back down to Blackreach. I think the compass, if you are the Guildmaster from the beginning, is given to you immediately. So no, I've never done this, because usually what I do is...
is that all you've got?
Are you fighting? No. What I usually do is take the Guildmaster start, and before I even do the Guildmaster start, I still go pick up my squad, and we start doing it together.
I hope this is the last
Because
time
otherwise,
you have to give this guy money.
yeah, right. He's reacting about Colborn Barrow. It is very expensive. Covered in blood. Just covered in blood.
There's a lot to learn of Skyrim's history.
So it looks like I should be able to get the last two, and that's an accomplishment. I've never done it before.
see.
2920, Volume 10, Frostfall. By Karlovac Townway. 10 Frostfall, 2920, Phrygius, Hierarch. Creatures before them blinked, senseless, its eyes glazed, mouth opening and closing as if relearning its function. A thin glob of saliva burbled down between its fangs and hung suspended. Tarala had never seen anything of its kind before, reptilian and massive, perched on its hind legs like a man. Ministeria applauded enthusiastically. "My child," she crowed, "you have come so far in so short a time. What were you thinking when you summoned the Daedra?" It took Tarala a moment to recall whether she was thinking anything at all. She was merely overwhelmed that she had reached out across the fabric of reality into the realm of oblivion and plucked forth this loathsome creature, conjuring it into the world by the power of her mind. "I was thinking of the color red," Tarala said, concentrating, the simplicity and clarity of it. "And then I desired, and spoke the charm, and this is what I conjured up." "Desire is a powerful force for a young witch," said Minister, "and it's well matched in this instance. But this Daedra is nothing if not a simple force of the spirits. Can you release your desire as easily?" Tarala closed her eyes and spoke the dismissal invocation. The monster faded away like a painting in sunlight, still blinking confusedly. Ministera embraced her dark elf people, laughing with delight. "I never would have believed it. A month and a day you've been with the Coven, and you're already far more advanced than most of the women here. There is powerful blood in you, Tarala. You touch spirits like you were touching a lover. You'll be leading this Coven one day. I have seen it." Tarala smiled. It is good to be complimented. The Duke of Mournhold had praised her pretty face and her family before she had dishonored them, praised her manners. Cassier had been nothing more than a companion. His compliments meant nothing, but with Ministera she felt she was home. "You'll be leading the Coven for many years yet, great sister," said Tarala. "I certainly intend to, but the spirits, while marvelous companions and faultless tellers of truth, are often hazy about when and how. You can't blame them, really. When and how means so little to them." Ministera opened the door to the shed, allowing the brisk autumn breeze in it to dispel the bitter and fetid smells of the Daedra. "Now, I need you to run an errand to Wayrest. It's only a week's ride there and a week's ride back. Bring Dorialtha and Celafina with you. As much as we try to be self-sufficient, there are herbs we can't grow here, and we seem to run through an enormous quantity of gems in no time at all. It's important that the people of the city learn to recognize you as one of the wise women of Skeffington Coven. You'll find the benefits of being notorious far outweigh the inconveniences." Tarala did as she was bid, and she and her sisters climbed aboard their horses. Ministera brought her child, little 5-month-old Bosrio, to kiss her mother goodbye. The witches were in love with the little Dunmer infant, fathered by a wicked duke, birthed by wild, alien elves in the forest heart of the Empire. Tarala knew her nursemaids would protect her child with their life. After many kisses and a farewell wave, the 3 young witches rode off into the bright woods under a covering of red, yellow, and orange. 12 Frostfall, 2920, Dwinin, Hierarch. For a midday evening, the least loved Porcupine Tavern was wildly crowded. A roaring fire in the pit in the center of the room cast an almost sinister glow on all the regulars, and made the abundance of bodies look like a punishment tapestry inspired by the Arcturian heresies. Cassier took his usual place with his cousin and ordered a flagon of ale. "Have you been to see the Baron?" asked Pella. "Yes, he may have worked for me in the palace of Urve. Urvius, yes," said Cassier proudly, "but more than that I can't say. You understand, secrets of state and all that. Why are there so many damn people here tonight? A shipload of dark elves just came into the harbor. They've come from the war. I was just waiting until you got here to introduce you as another veteran." Cassier blushed, but regained his composure enough to ask, "What are they doing here? Has there been a truce?" "I don't know the full story," said Palith, "but apparently the Emperor and Vivek are in negotiations again. These fellows here have investments, and they were keen to check on. These fellows here have investments they were keen to check on, and they figured things in the bay were quiet enough. But the only way we can get the full story is to talk to the chaps." With that, Palith gripped his cousin's arm and pulled him to the other side of the bar so suddenly, Cassier would have had to struggle violently to resist. The Dunmer travelers were spread out across 4 of the tables, laughing with the locals. They were largely amiable, young men, well-dressed, befitting merchants, animated in gestures made more extravagant by liquor. "Excuse me," said Palith, intruding on the conversation. "My shy cousin Cassier was in the war as well, fighting for the living god Vivek." "The only Cassier I've ever heard of," said one of the Dunmer drunkenly with a wide, friendly smile, shaking Cassier's free hand, "was Cassier Whitley, who Vivek said was the worst spy in history. We lost Alt Marek due to his bungling intelligence work. For your sake, friend, I hope the 2 of you were never confused." Cassier smiled and listened as the lout told the story of his failure with bountiful exaggerations which caused the table to roar with laughter. Several eyes looked his way, but none of the locals sought to explain that the fool of the tale was standing at attention. The fool of the tale was standing at attention. The eyes that stung the most were his cousin's, the young man who had believed that he had returned to Dwinin a great hero. At some point, certainly, the Baron would hear about it, his idiocy increasing manifold with each retelling. With every fiber in his soul, Cassier cursed the living god Vivek. 21 Frostfall, 2920, the Imperial City, Cyrodiil. Corda, in a robe of blinding whiteness, a uniform of the priestesses of the Hagath Morwa Conservatorium, arrived in the city just as the first winter storm was passing. The clouds broke with sunlight, and a beauteous teenage red-guard girl appeared in the wide avenue with escort, riding toward the palace. While her sister was tall, thin, angular, and haughty, Corda was a small, round-faced lass with wide brown eyes. Locals were quick to draw comparisons. "Not a month after Lady Regia's execution," muttered a housemaid, peering out the window and winking to her neighbor. "And not a month out of the nunnery, either," the other woman agreed, reveling in the scandal. "This one's in for a ride. Her sister weren't no innocent, and look where she ended up." 24 Frostfall, 2920, Dwinin, High Rock. Cassier stood in the harbor and watched the early sleet fall in the water. It was a pity. He thought that he was prone to seasickness. There was nothing for him now in Tamriel to the east or to the west. Vivek's tale of his poor spycraft had spread to taverns everywhere. The Baron of Dwinin had released him from his contract. No doubt they were laughing about him in Daggerfall, too, and Dawnstar, Vilmoth, Rinnin, Greenheart, probably, and Akavir and Yakuta for that matter. Perhaps it would be best to drop into the waves and sink. The thought, however, did not stay long in his mind. It was not despair that haunted him, but rage, impotent fury that he could not assuage. "Excuse me, sir," said a voice behind him, making him jump. "I'm sorry to disturb you, but I was wondering whether you could recommend an inexpensive tavern for me to spend the night." It was a young man, a Nord, with a sack over his shoulder. Obviously, he had just disembarked from one of the boats. For the first time in weeks, someone was looking at Cassier as something other than a colossal, famous idiot. He could not help, black as his mood was, but be friendly. "You've just arrived from Skyrim?" asked Cassier. "No, sir. That's where I'm going," said the fellow. "I'm working my way home. I came up from Sentinel, and before that Strasbourg High, and before that Woodhearth in Valenwood, and before that Artaeum in Somerset. Wellig's my name." Cassier introduced himself and shook Wellig's hand. "Did you say you came from Artaeum? Are you a Psijic?" "No, sir, not anymore," the fellow shrugged. "I was expelled." "Do you know anything about summoning Daedra? You see, I want to cast a curse against a particularly powerful person. One might say a living god, and I haven't had any luck. The Baron won't allow me in his sight, but the Baroness has sympathy for me and allowed me the use of her summoning chambers." Cassier spat. "I did all the rituals with sacrifices, but nothing came of it." "That'd be because of Sothasil, my old master," replied Wellig with some bitterness. The Daedra princes have agreed not to be summoned by any amateurs, at least until the war ends. Only the Sijiks may counsel with the Daedra, and a few nomadic sorcerers and witches. Witches, did you say? 29 Frostball, 2920 Phrygius, High Rock. Pale sunlight flickered behind the mist bathing the forest as Turala, Doriatha, and Celafina drove their horses on. The ground was wet with a thin layer of frost and laden down with goods. It was a slippery way over unpaved hills. Turala tried to contain her excitement about coming back to the Coven. Wayrest had been an adventure, and she adored the looks of fear and respect the city folk gave her. But for the last few days, all she could think about was returning to her sisters and her child. A bitter wind whipped her hair forward. Yeah, see, I don't know, this just kind of bugs me that a 5-month-old baby left behind with, the mother unable to breastfeed, it just sounds painful, and this just seems like this book was written by a guy. A bitter wind ripped her hair forward so she could see nothing but the path ahead. She did not hear the rider approach to her side until he was almost upon her. When she turned and saw Cassier, she shouted with as much pleasure and surprise as meeting an old friend. His face was pale and drawn, but she took it to be merely from travel. "What brings you back to Phrygius?" she smiled. "Were you not treated well in Dwinnen?" "Well enough," said Cassier. "I have need of the Skeffington Coven." "Ride with me," said Turala. "I'll bring you to Ministera." The four continued on, and the witches regaled Cassier with tales of Wayrest. It was evident that it was also a rare treat for Doriatha and Celafina to leave old Barbin's farm. They'd been born there as daughters and granddaughters of Skeffington witches. Ordinary, high-rock city life was exotic for them as it was for Turala. Cassier said little, but smiled and nodded his head, which was encouragement enough. Thankfully, none of the stories he had heard were about his own stupidity, or at the very least, they did not tell him. Doriatha was in the midst of a tale she had heard in the tavern about a thief who'd been locked overnight in a pawn shop when they crossed over a familiar hill. Suddenly, she halted in her story. The barn was supposed to be visible, but it was not. The other three followed her gaze into the fog, and a moment later they rode as fast as they could toward what was once the site of the Skeffington Coven. The fire had long since burned out. Nothing but ashes, skeletons, and broken weaponry remained. Cassier recognized at once the sign of an orc raid. The witches fell from their horses, racing through the remains, wailing. Celafina found a tattered, bloody piece of cloth that they recognized from Ministera's cloak. She held it to her ashen face, sobbing. Turala screamed for Bosriel, but the only reply was the high whistling wind through the ashes. "Who did this?" she cried, tears streaking down her face. "I swear, I'll conjure up the very flames of oblivion. What have they done with my baby?" "I know who did it," said Cassier quietly, dropping from his horse and walking toward her. "I've seen these weapons before. I fear I met the very fiends responsible in Dwinnen, but I never thought they'd find him. This is the work of assassins hired by the Duke of Mournwood." He paused. The lie came easily. Adapt and improvise. What's more, he could tell instantly that she believed it. Her resentment over the cruelty the Duke had shown her had quieted but never disappeared. One look at her burning eyes told him that she would summon the Daedra and wreak his and her revenge upon Morrowind. And what's more, he knew they'd listen. And listen they did, for the power that is greater than desire is rage. Even rage misplaced. Atlas of Dragons 2E373, compiled by Brother Mathnan. Herein is recorded the list of known dragons, both living and dead, including those slain by the Dragon Guard since the time of its foundation, as well as those slain in earlier ages where they can be identified. Unfortunately, only a few of the dragons slain by our Akaviri predecessors during the Crusade were recorded, and thus this list is sadly incomplete. Deceased by report: Nahagliv. Local tales name him as a dragon buried in the mound west of Orkstead. No date associated with his death, although almost surely dates to the Dragon War era. Odavin Records dating to the crusade of interrogation of captured dragon cultists indicate that their dragon was buried in a mound in the southeast of Skyrim, near Riften. Salokmir. Local legends claim this is a dragon buried in the mound near Kynes Grove, slain by the Nordic hero Jorm Helbolg in the First Era. Vintoruth. Death dating back to Dragon War era, according to documents recovered from dragon cult temples, which record his burial near Lake Jorgrun. Vuljotnak. Death dating back to Dragon War or just after, according to recovered dragon cult documents, which record his burial in a mound near Granite Hill. Slain by the Dragon Guard. Grakrondrog. Slain in 2E184 after perpetrating great slaughter in Winterhold and Eastmarch. Name confirmed with assistance from the college mages. Krajosdan. Slain in 1E 2871 in the southern Jarl Mountains. Name confirmed by the dragon's own account. Unnamed dragons. Numbering 12, as recorded in the annuals dating back to the founding of the Skyhaven Temple. Known to live. Albilok. Sightings dated back to the early years of the Dragon Guard throughout the northern Jarls. Multiple attempts to kill him have failed. He is believed to be lairing somewhere in Morrowind. Mirmulnir. Last sighted in the Reach 2E212. Nafalar. Repeated alliance with mortal protectors have prevented his elimination. His last known protector was the King Casimir II of Wayrest, which the Dragon Guard successfully ended in 2E369. He escaped and current location is unknown. Parthurnax, the legendary lieutenant of Alduin in the Dragon War, is now known to lair on the throat of the world under the protection of the Greybeards of High Hrothgar. Master Arit continues the established policy of avoiding direct confrontation with the Greybeards while waiting for an opportunity to exact justice upon them. Are you kidding on my lap? Yeah, she's on my lap now. I did have to get rid of the dragon bed mod. I really like it, but it just, Miko's cabin just kind of freaks me out, where there's, like, the Nord under the bed.
You're a bit pale. Need a drink? Come on, take a few sips for me, my love.
Okay, I will take a few sips for you, my love. And also with the, sleep mod, the beds are... I don't know my way around in here. The beds are, modded for spooning, which is... Still haven't gotten them to work, but I have gotten it so that we at least both sleep in bed at the same time. It's very exciting. Hello, kitty. You wanna stomp? Yeah, stomp on my lap. Hey, baby. Gonna make biscuits? Angry biscuits? Oh my god, kitty. Yeah, okay. Okay, so we gotta wait for Unearthed for another week. We'll leave Tools of the Trade up. It's kind of cool that there's only 2 left. Nice. Okay. Hey, kitty. The Restless. I've heard stories of lost shipwrecks strewn about the Sea of Ghosts. At the Winking Skeever in Solitude, I found a lead on a ship said to have traveled to Blackbone Isle. Apparently, the last person to visit the island died in Castle Duan Dungeon. Convince the guard to give you access to the jail cell. Find the pirate's corpse. Sorry, I can't actually. Sweetie, I need my hands. Yeah. No. I need my hands. Okay, back to Solitude. Castle Duel. Yeah, sweetie. You lost your collar again. Took us 4 days, we got his collar back on him, and now it's gone again. This is a thing with you, isn't it? You wrestled with your brother And you both got it off. When the first day that we put collars on them, they did actually assist each other in ripping them off. It was very impressive.
As High Priest of the Eight Divines. Bid you welcome.
Yep. No,
Is
Johnny
your
Bra.
armor made of dragon scales? My God, so that wouldn't do for a set of that.
I'd be a lot warmer and a lot.
Yeah, cutie. Oh, yesterday we made
Watch this.
freeze-dried
Huh?
pumpkin pie. Oh my god, it's amazing. Freeze-dried apple pie, also amazing. Though the pumpkin, the flavor is better.
I'm telling you, Ulfric's
After being
planning an
freeze-dried,
attack
it's
on
better
Whiterun.
than the apple pie. We also did pumpkin cheesecake. Oh, they're both amazing. Okay. Wait, I already have that. I don't need to steal it.
Bunch of power scavengers from what I've seen.
I stand with the Stormcloaks. You Imperial dogs will never break my will. Never.
Psst. Hey, I know who you are. Hail Sithis.
Oh my god. I need to inspect the cell. Can you open it for me?
Okay, just this once.
Okay. That's all I need is once. Read Kevon's note. 15 men, a sunken treasure, and a lost ship. That's what I left behind. It took less than a day to sail to Blackbone Isle. Captain said we needn't worry about the cold, so we left the furs and packed the steep. Seemed like an odd thing. No one but us knew about this place. Still, didn't matter much if we were making good time. I reckon we were about a league away from the cave, when all of a sudden, the wind died. They came up behind us, sabers rattling like ice rings. Next thing I hear is the screams. Jumped onto the skiff, cut the bastard loose, and started to paddle. Didn't have time to look back. Now, time's all I got. Maybe if we had more men or a solid priest, we could have made it. We got the map at least. Hid it under a loose brick behind the bench. Just need to get out of this dungeon before the sickness takes me. Yeah, search Kevin. Kevin didn't. So, but activate combat.
Simple living is more appealing to me.
I didn't. Yeah. Okay, there's a loose brick. I never knew about the crumbling mortar though. Where am I going? Ooh. Huh. That's wild. Yeah, I've never been through these tunnels. That's cool. I didn't realize you could escape from the Solitude jail. How awesome is that? Okay, there's the boat. I believe this can turn into like a pirate ship player home if I'm right. But again, when you have to zone to a home and it's way in the middle of nowhere, it isn't as helpful. Let me see if I can summon for the last... Summon Jernavir. And see if I can get the last shout.
I've kept you aside of the bargain. Now let me fulfill mine.
Okay.
Feel the last word of soul tearing within yourself. Zone.
Brilliant. Fucking brilliant.
You have a death wish?
Is there more? Come on, honey. I should have made him stay on the ground. Oi. That's just crazy. Come on, my bow doesn't even last that long. And it's really dark.
That smell. I swear I could stand in the fucking pouring rain, see it, and I'd feel like the sun is shining on me all over again.
Whoever coded this, seriously, just fuck you. Alright, I give up.
Come here and do your worst.
Yeah, you're a jerk. And that's what I should do in the future to start riding away. Yeah, that looks cool. I was pretty sure it was gonna make me lock up, but... No, we're not doing this again. Ah. That was dumb. Okay, this time... Oh. Yeah, I'm going this way now. I don't care. You're annoying. Orphan's tear or orphan's tail? Two different meanings. Come on, dragon. Oh, that's gonna be fun. Hey, it's a bunch of women, that's nice. Let's see if Alexi's key can unlock the depth things. Yeah, okay. I am in combat hell.
Time for you to die.
Ah, because we're not going to need a pirate hat. Come on, jerk dragon, figure it out. Oh my god, another dragon. Will you die, please? Ugh. Treasure map, Crabber's
Stood in my heart with that very first dragon saw. It felt like time stopped for me in that moment, and all I could see was you.
Aw, you're so sweet. Your treasure map, Crabber's Shanty. And to be clear, when they use the pirate voice,
We should just
I'm
abandon
making
this
fun
shit.
of the pirate voice. Blackbone Isle.
Let's do this!
Okay, but I'm gonna get some more.
Damn.
You're already dead. Cyrus's boots, Cyrus's clothes.
Problem solved.
There is Cyrus's saber. Read the captain's journal. 28th of last seed, 3E39. We set sail on Dead Men's Dread in the summer, take advantage of the calmer winds. Yet Kinnereth saw fit to throw us off course, and now we find ourselves stranded in a fog with no sun or stars to guide us. The crew is blaming the young navigator, Kavir, for steering us into it. In truth, we only brought him on board because the old captain took ill and we were desperately short on men. 4th of Heartfire, 3E39. One of the crew, Asif, said he was once a priest of Archay and used to perform the rites. He believes the former captain was murdered. I'll keep this between him and I until I know better. 22nd of Hearthfire, 3E39. I've kept the date by marking the back of this journal, but there are times I forget. And in truth, I don't know whether it's the 22nd of Hearthfire or the 1st of the new year. But the cold is enough to tell us that winter's on its way. We need to find land soon, as the men are getting nervous. There's been 3 fights over rations in the past week. Worse yet, I'm starting to lose my head. There are times I look west and see the golden sands of Stros Mackay on the curve of the horizon. I have to force myself to look away, knowing there's nothing there. 2nd of Frostfall, 3E39. We finally managed to find land in this barren frost. The men are joyous. Based on the markings inside the grotto, it looks like we've reached Blackbone Isle, an old pirate den of all things. Many of us were corsairs before we pledged ourselves to the crown, so perhaps coming here was more than luck. Either way, we can't be far from the mainland now. We'll head south for Skyrim in the morning. 3rd of Frostfall, 3E39. We are a crew of dead men, and this ship is our tomb. The entrance collapsed in the middle of the night, sealing us inside. Still, we might have found a way back to shore had the forebear among us, Kavir, not sabotaged the skiffs. It's my crime as much as his, for I'm the one who brought him aboard. For his part, the forebear made no attempt to resist or escape. In fact, he readily admitted to the deed as well of the death of our former captain. He wanted us to know exactly who it was that he served, so that every crown would know that nowhere in Tamriel was safe. Put him in the brig and left him to rot. Some of the men wanted a more creative punishment, but the reality is, there's no worse fate than the one he doomed us to. 5th of Frostfall, 3E39. The situation is dire. The food stocks are depleted and half of the men are crippled with fever. The crew have no delusions about what comes next, but we can still die with purpose. Before the old captain died, he told me that the saber on his wall belonged to Cyrus himself, and that it was worth more than 1,000 ships full of plunder. I never knew how he knew Cyrus or how he came upon his sword, but I know protecting the hero's legacy was important to him, and now that honor falls to us. I gave each man a choice. Some opted for the drink, others chose a more dramatic exit. As we depart, we will pray to Arcade to bind our souls to the ship, just as Prince Ator was bound to a gem so many years ago. We will protect the relics of Cyrus and honor the crown. We will do in death what we could not do in life. Sounds like Darth Vader in here. I sound like Darth Vader in here. Hey guys. Oh. You're not friendly ghosts.
You hit?
Okay, I gotta look at Cyrus's stuff. Let's see what Cyrus's stuff is. Cyrus's clothes. Oh, it's just an outfit. With boots and a saber, you have an extra 25% chance to deal a critical hit to cause a stagger. That's nice. I don't know if you can disenchant it or what. Oh my god, I'm lost in a boat.
You're fucking dead!
Sorry, yeah, he literally has an arrow in his ass.
I will return!
No, you won't.
That human flesh you're carrying is starting to stink.
Look, we kill necromancers, okay? It happens. They carry this crap.
Death comes for you now.
Wait, hear me out. What if I don't want death to come for me right now, and death comes for me later? What if I offer you instead? I mean, technically death already has you, but I'm not really giving death a choice.
Fucking bastard.
You bastard!
Yeah, this becomes a player home. Escape the grotto. I'm escaping a grotto. Okay.
I will protect you, Dragonborn.
There's more. Oh, that's just a zombie.
Right off.
Why did these think they even had the slightest chance?
Okay. I believe that's a player home. The Restless. Okay. Retrieve the Blackwater Blade. Where is the Blackwater Blade? I don't know. I think I have to go back to the mainland, right? I'm in an instance. Yeah, I gotta go back. So yeah, I believe if you want to use that for a home, you have to come back here, zone in, then zone into the cave, then open all the doors, run up, down, run all over town. But it's an option. Thanks for watching. Wishing you found family, creative hobbies, a hot bath after a long day, and food you love as much as Saleya loves apple pies.